Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to thank to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that has given us everything, so we can be here in online debate for candidates of district heads and the beauty of Trenggalek regions. I also want to thank to all of you for this opportunity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Selvia Andani as your moderator. And our debate topic today, education to create a quality generation. Before we start our debate today, let me introduce you to each candidates. The first candidate of Trenggalek region, Aldi Septianno, PDH, with his partner, Cintia Triana Bhekti, MPD. The second candidate, Professor Haji Edi Pujianto, SPD MPD, with his partner Rindi Wahyuni, SE. Now moving to our session. Please welcome the first candidate to deliver the vision and mission.
Alright, afternoon everyone. I would like to deliver about our vision. Our vision is toward a more prosperous, advanced and competitive district of Trenggalek. More prosperous, it means using the welfare of society both physically and mentally. By birth, it is fulfilling the basic needs of the people properly. That is reducing the poverty rate, increasing people income, increasing job opportunities and facilitating public access to education and health services. And then, increasing mental well-being is manifested in the creation of atmosphere of religious life safe and conducive, as well as the freedom and convenience of people in carrying out worship in accordance with their religion and belief. Going forward, interpreted by the existence of positive development in every aspect of people's lives, especially those related to the quality and capacity of human resource, governments, and public services. Competitiveness, that is the realization of ability of people in Trenggalek to take advantage of their comparative and competitive advantage, so that they are able to compete regionally and nationally and even internationally. Well, to explain about our mission, I will leave it to Cintia Triana Bhekti. Thank you.
Alright, I would like to about our mission. Our mission is to realize the vision of Trenggalek Regency. The development mission of Trenggalek Regency for 2020 to 2025 is divided as follows. Increasing the standard of living of community through accelerated poverty alleviation programs. Optimizing the development while target development and community programs. Strengthening community life based on religious values or religious, local wisdom and law through the optimization of religious life and social life, as well as the application of law and regulation. Improving the quality of the human resource or HR of the community through improving the quality of the education sector, including national insight, character, religious practice, and health, as well as easy access to adequate education and health service. Increasing community empowerment and community economic enterprises that have competitiveness through increasing skills and expertise. Developing a community-based economy based on cooperative, and MAAs. Creative economy, entrepreneurial spirit, local religion, and potential. Strengthening the tourist sector and utilization of natural resources. Increasing village-based development and rural area through optimizing of village administration, development and community development and empowerment of village communities.
Well, thanks to the first candidate. Now I will call the second candidate to deliver the vision and mission. The second candidate, the time is yours.
Good afternoon. In this opportunity, I will deliver our vision and mission. Our vision are to realizing Trenggalek Regency, a superior area in the field of agribusiness and tourism, as well as independence toward a quality and prosperous community. And our mission thus are develop and increase production sector in agriculture, plantation, forestry, livestock, fisheries, and marine to support ecotourism and agribusiness, and accelerate community economic growth by maximizing the strategic potential Trenggalek district. Creating a competitive and professional economic structure with the concept of sustainable and environmentally friendly development. Creating an environment in the education sector by increasing educational facility and infrastructure in accordance with the times so that prospective people can develop, think critically, and be able to answer the challenge of ever-changing times. Realizing an improved subsidy system, social protection, and overcoming poverty alleviation. Realizing good, clean, and authoritative governance through aspirational, participatory, and transparent governance. That's all our vision and mission.
Well, thanks for the second candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are moving to question and answer session. In this session, I will give 3 questions. 2 different questions for each candidate, and 1 question for both of 2 candidates, which is the same questions. Okay, first questions I address to the first candidate. The question is, in 2018, the percentage of students who continue studying after graduating from junior high school around 70%. So around 30% did not continue to senior high school. Data from Trenggalek Education, Youth and Sports Office show that the increase in the number of students who continue to school is still uneven. There are only 2 sub-districts whose the percentage school levels are still low. That is Pule and Bendungan. So as a candidate for region of Trenggalek, how do you solve this problem about children not continuing school? You have 2 minutes to answer this question. I will notice you if the time is out. Okay, you may start to answer this question.
This problem is a classic problem in my opinion, not only in the city of Trenggalek, but also in several small cities that still do not have better facilities and infrastructure. To find out the source of the problem, we mobilize the district government to look for data in the field, and the village government may also be involved to collect data on residents who have the potential to drop out of school. If the main problem is the economy, so far we know that poverty is an acute problem in the city, and of course, poverty is a problem why children drop out of school. To solve it, we will mobilize student personal assistants and Indonesian smart cards. And if the main factor is involvement, we will approach school students in order to foster their interest in attending school. However, if the main source is learning facilities, usually the problem is the lack of capacity of public schools. We will try to add public schools in there. If not possible, we will make private school with low tuition fees. In my opinion, the previous government only had this course on overcoming to dropout rate. Actually, the government should immediately optimize the mapping of solution to ensure school-age children are in school. With Aldi Septianno and Cintia and Triana, we can make it possible. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer from first candidate. Now I will give different question from the second candidate. The question is, pandemic conditions like now have made government policies change, like education sector which is currently being implemented at home with a slightly different curriculum. Besides that, there are so many obstacles that must be faced. In your opinion, how to optimize the learning activities at home during a pandemic era without overriding various obstacles? You have 2 minutes to answer this question. I will notice you if your time is out. You may start to answer this question.
The best way to solve this problem is by providing adequate facilities that can support online learning activities, and continue to monitor teaching and learning activities every time there are no face-to-face sessions. Whether the teaching and learning activities are maximized and according to the curriculum or vice versa. Further problems that hinder teaching and learning activities are also immediately resolved. For example, the internet network must cover all areas so that gaps do not occur, provide internet quota assistance, provide an easily accessible learning platform, and prepare efficient teaching materials and learning methods for maximum result. Thank you.
Thanks for the second candidate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now I will give the last questions for both of candidates. The question is, in Trenggalek, around 5,000 people out of 660,000 residents are people with disabilities. This number includes students from various levels. As a candidate for region of Trenggalek, what are your efforts to guarantee accessibility and adequate accommodation for students with disabilities in Trenggalek, especially in this pandemic era? We will give a chance for the second candidate to answer this question first. You have 2 minutes to answer this question.
The way I see it, for students with special needs, it really needs to be considered in that. Parents must guide their children so that they can participate in teaching and learning activities properly. In addition, teachers must also make teaching materials and methods that are suitable for children with disabilities. Teachers must also be competent and adaptable. We will also provide adequate infrastructure for children with disabilities such as reading boards, hearing aids, embossed maps, abacus, and other necessities. However, at this time of the pandemic, parental guidance is most needed. To support online teaching and learning activities, we will provide a special platform for disabilities, establish discussion forum between parents and teachers, and other things that can maximize teaching and learning activities for children with disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Any question maybe from the first candidate? If you have, you can deliver your questions.
Can you explain in more detail what action will be taken? Your statement is still not very clear on the part of the action you took. You need to be clear about the statement so that the public understand your statement. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. Now, the second candidate, you can answer the question from first candidate from now.
First, We will provide advice to regional government to establish a number of policies that can support students with disabilities to access technology tools and a number of other software that can support learning process. Second, providing training to improve teacher skill in delivering learning material through media that meets in the principle of accessibility in accordance with the accommodation needed by students with disabilities. In addition, it provides an increased understanding of teachers and educational institutions about the principles of inclusive education and how these principles are applied during the pandemic or during the distance learning process. Finally, formulate a curriculum that is accordance with the principles of inclusive education to ensure that students with disabilities can still access quality education. That's it.
Okay, now it's the turn from the first candidate to answer the same question. You have 2 minutes to answer this question.
Even though people with disabilities do not make 5% of total population in Trenggalek, we are obliged to provide facilities for them. Because of what? Because they also have the right to study like us. And before the COVID-19 period, the accessibility and accommodation were actually quite adequate if we look thoroughly at the special schools in Trenggalek. Several learning methods and learning content have been designed to be friendly to people with disabilities. The teachers have also been active in making books, such as blind-friendly reading books and science translation books in the learning program for deaf students. So, we only emphasize the existing programs. If there is still a little flaw, it can be corrected later. Okay, now we are stepping on the COVID-19 period. Maybe an efficient way and method for children with special needs to be able to learn comfortably. It is a created digital content made special for them, so that the learning activities can run well. It is encouraged for parents to accompany their children in learning. Then, we created an online forum for parents and teachers to share more intensely in understanding children with special needs. I know it might be difficult, but however, with Aldi Septianno and Cintia Triana, we can make it possible. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the first candidate. Any question maybe from second candidate? If you have question, you can deliver it.
I have a question. How do we know if parents accompany their children while studying? And also, what is the guarantee that the online forum will run optimally? Thanks.
Okay, thanks for the question. Well, first candidate, you can answer the question from second candidate from now.
Okay, I will answer the question from Professor Haji Edi Pujianto, SPD, MPD. How do we know if a parent is accompanying their child while studying? The answer is easy. That is, every time parents accompanying their children, the parents are required to documenting the activities through photo. If still not very confusing, the documentation can be a video. And what can we guarantee that the online forum will run optimally? With the support of students, parents, and teachers who act the administrator of the online forum, I can guarantee that the online forum can run optimally. If the forum is quiet without discussion, the forum admin will later provide tips on material that discusses how to teach their children who need a special way to teach it. Then give mini quizzes to parents about their children learning activities at home. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the answer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are come to the end of our presentation. To the first and second candidate, you can deliver your closing statement to convince the Trenggalek residents to vote for you.
Hello people! Choose smart leader not only good at making work or just work and work. There are some leaders out there who talk a lot but work little. There are also leaders who talk a little but work a lot. Choose the leaders who talks a lot and works a lot. Because of what? Because a lot of talk indicate the person is smart, and a lot of work indicate the person is someone who trusted. The right leader is work with people, not to exploit people. With me, various economic problems and human resource problem and problem of crime will be resolved even it is impossible. With Aldi Septianno and Cintia and Triana, we can make it possible. Choose number one finger, one point, one hope, one purpose. This is make it Trenggalek City even better and better. Thank you, everyone.
Great leaders don't just make promises. People who are honest in small matter will also be honest in big matter because leaders must be role models. The adage say if you want to change the world, start by changing yourself for the better. Together with Edi Pujianto and Rindi Wahyuni, they brought Trenggalek to be more advanced and bright. Last but not least, choose number 2.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the online debate for Regent's candidates Trenggalek. I hope this can be reference for Trenggalek residents to vote for Regent's candidates. Don't forget to use your voting rights on 9 December 2020. I'm Selvia Andani. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.